Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Tim Lankford, and I welcome you to our every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time webinar. This morning, we're going to do a live broadcast of a typical in-home appointment. They're going to be all across the board. You're going to be sitting with some very unique persons. We're going to do one pretty typical. I do approximately 3 to 5 of these still a week, even though my role here with Gordon Marketing is as your liaison in the mortgage protection program. Please contact me, or you see Alicia here. Michael here is with our IT department, and they're going to be my willing. Oh, they were so willing subjects this morning. But I would be very remiss not to say I have plans for you. I have plans not only to give you a prosperous, or offer you at least a prosperous future, but one that would never have any intention to harm you. My plans include a future and a hope. Hopefully you recognize that, if not because you've listened to me on some of these webinars and conference calls, but also because you are a Bible reader. That is one of our mantras, to be able to stand by Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, stating that our intention is, of course, never to harm anyone. We believe in the independent agent. We believe to be able to help you to be in business for yourself, just not by yourself. This morning, I'm going to give you a real brief overview, and then we're going to literally dive right into what a typical in-home appointment and why I have a fair amount of success with this mortgage protection program for myself. I still write this business. I did a little over $100,000 last year in issue paid business, and I average less than a day in the field per week. It is possible. It is absolutely possible. So far this year, by the end of July, I will be right at $90,000. Now, my numbers are a little bit higher. I've increased one day in the field because I'm also rolling out our federal employee benefit program. So my numbers are inflated, but the core is still there. The core is a platform of mortgage protection. This is the absolute platform for any new agent in our industry. It's not in the federal program by any means. You really need to have an accumulated sales acumen, if you allow me. Somebody who understands the difference between qualified and non-qualified money and other things that we're not going into in this presentation, but to understand this is our meat and potatoes right here. To be able to go and sit down with a family who have sent in a request. Get this. Michael and Alicia sent in a request saying, I'm looking for some information about protecting my mortgage. It is that simple. And I'm trying to make it difficult just so that everyone out there will say, wow, what an incredible salesman and leader. And guys, I have to really fall back and say, if you have a heart to care about others, you can do this business. You need to be licensed. Trust me, I want you licensed, but you can do this business. You need to go in with the confidence that they've already said they're interested in what we have. I see this more than just somebody who's looking for information. I see this as somebody saying, sign me up. That's a quote unquote lead for me. These are responders. These have responded to a simple direct mail, and a piece of direct mail, and less than 2% in the nation will respond to these mail pieces. So when we have somebody, we've got a very unique person who's literally saying, help me. Now, before I go into my presentation, I want to tell you what I'm taking in with me. I am taking in two applications for our core carrier. I'll call Phoenix our core carrier in the mortgage protection program, simply because they go up to the oldest of any carrier out there. You can go from age 18 to the day before somebody turns 81. That's huge. So when I'm sitting down with a 78-year-old with a $250,000 mortgage, there's some plan behind just saying, okay, we can only go up to 100,000, but suffice to say, nobody else out there will touch a simplified issue product better than Phoenix. And their pricing, living benefits, hopefully you saw last week's webinar. If not, go to our website, www.gordonmarketing.com, and you'll see last week's webinar that went over the benefits of using Phoenix. In addition to my 2 Phoenix applications, I'm going to have my 2 Mutual Omaha applications, because if Elisha or Michael says they definitely have to have something that has a return of premium to it or a disability product, Phoenix won't offer that. So I've got 2 Phoenix, 2 Mutual Omaha, Term Life Express. I've got 2 Children's Whole Life application, and I've got 2 immediate guaranteed issue accidental applications. All those last ones were from Mutual Omaha. Soon as I pull up, I've already set the appointment with, we'll use Michael. So I've set the appointment with Michael within the last 48 hours. You will see this in my 6 steps to a successful sale. Everyone who's connected, I will send that out to you. But in that 6 steps, I've set my appointment within 48 hours. So we're going to say I spoke to Michael yesterday evening. Now I'm pulling and I've verified, I've locked down the appointment by 4 different ways. What color of house? Where are you located on the street? Do you have any specific landmarks? Do you have a yellow Ferrari out in the driveway? And then I always lock it down by saying, is the address on the mailbox or up on the house? I don't do that because I need to really, my GPS is going to pretty much take me right there, right? We need to do that to lock down the appointment, to let Elisha and Michael know we're going to be there. Quit getting so many no-shows. I say that with love in my heart to you, but lock down your appointments better. There's no reason why you should be having 3 and 4 out of 10 no-shows. My no-show rate averages less than 1 out of 10. So follow the steps to a successful sale. I pull up. I usually don't try to park in their driveway. I've got a decent car, so I'm not worried too much with it leaking in their driveway, but the day that it decides to leak, it'll be when I pull up to Michael and Elisha's house. So do your best to try to park on the street. Use common sense if it's not safe. Pull up in the driveway, but I'm gonna park in the road. My very first step out of the car, I'm gonna immediately look to the house and wave. 95% of the time, I don't see anyone, but take this as a habit. When you get out of the car, you look there and you kind of do a short wave. I don't go into my trunk, but most of the time I'll have this is all I'm carrying into the house, guys. I'm not looking like I'm ready to come and live. I don't look like a typical salesman. I, most of the time, will not have a jacket on. I want to look like a professional version of their next door neighbor. The next door neighbor, maybe let's say on the weekend where you've got that friend and you're just kind of hanging out together, but I want to take it up the next notch, be a little bit more professional. So I want to be very user-friendly. However, I'm there for business. And I will establish that immediately, but hopefully you're having patience with me laying the groundwork here. I wave, I've got my notebook with me, I'm walking up to the door. The wave behind that, I've had, over the last 7 years of doing this business, I've had, I'd say probably a half a dozen couples, so not very many, but I'd say at least a half a dozen who have said, if you didn't see me, we wouldn't have answered the door. Isn't that crazy? If you didn't see me, it's just like, I wanted to confess right there. I didn't see you, but I figured you would be one of the people who would shuffle away. And people are, they're basically afraid of you. They know this, you're coming for a sale. You're not coming to be their buddy. You're not coming to just give them information, even though I've got to get the information in their hands first, and then find out if they have a need. Now it's a sale. I'm setting up this appointment for just the information. However, with my in-home, and everyone on the call will receive my in-home fact finder. Very simple, very direct. But when I sit down, as I'm coming to the door, as Michael answers it, I won't be dialoguing anymore until the end of our presentation. So, Michael?
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. Should I leave my shoes here at the door?
Oh, no, you can wear them. You're good.
Now, don't get me in trouble with the wife, because I remember you said you're married, right?
Oh yeah.
We're okay?
Oh yeah, you're okay.
All right. I'm gonna count on that. You must be Alicia.
I'm Alicia.
Hi, Alicia. My name is Tim. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You seem like you were forewarned by Michael. Michael and I spoke on the phone last night, but sometimes husbands don't like to, or don't seem to remember to tell their wife. So I'm not a complete surprise.
No, you're not. He mentioned it.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. And here at the dining room table, I mean, wherever you guys feel comfortable. We can do in the living room, but sometimes if I got a flat surface, is this okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrific. Michael, I'm going to, as I look at this responder form that you sent back to me, I want to say it looks like some masculine writing. Did you fill it out, or you just used a real heavy pen when you did it, Alicia?
That was me.
That was you. See, I'm impressed. You've got to work out, because it doesn't look like you were just real light on filling that out.
Must have been a gel pen.
Give me some thoughts behind of what caused you to fill this out. What was your interest? So I make sure I stay on point.
Just with anything can happen. It's just, I mean, it's obvious and apparent these days. Anything can happen anytime, and I was just looking for some more information about what could happen, and God forbid one of us should pass away. Our daughters are left, and one of us would be left.
Okay,
so worry about it on one income. So
couple daughters then, what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
2. What ages?
9 and 7.
Oh, how fun. What are the names?
Addison and Ava.
Oh, very neat. Very neat. So a boy after 7 years, I don't know, is there a boy on the horizon, or a son, or just the 2 daughters?
That would be a no.
That would be a no.
That would be a no.
Okay. Mike, you've got your work cut out for you. I love family, and that's, I'd say, one of the biggest reasons of why I stepped into the mortgage protection field. I've been in the protection business for over 20 years now, but it just, as I started to build a family, it just seemed like a natural fit. I've got 4 children. So I thought I was finished with my 3 sons. I've got Joshua, Justin, and Eric, and they're 31, 30, and 26. And God said I was going to be a single dad. I was okay with being a single dad, and about a half a dozen years later, I met this beautiful girl and told her, no more children in my future. I'm pretty much already, the doc said, okay, you're done. Or I told the doc, I'm done. 8 years after our marriage, she says, I think I want one of our children. So I'm thinking, okay, well, it's going to be kind of expensive to adopt. And she says, oh, no, I want one of our children. And I'm saying, ours not going to happen. They have procedures for that.
Yes, they do.
Oh, my goodness. That was expensive. And then that part didn't work to reverse it. And then, without getting too personal, but wow, did you ever heard of in vitro? Mm-hmm. It's more expensive than adopting.
Right.
And there's no guarantee. But we have a beautiful little 9-year-old girl now. So it's kind of like, thank you.
Awesome.
So there's no son in the immediate future, though, huh?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Tell me what your mortgage amount. It looks like, if I read my from our closing papers, it looks like you guys did about $143,000 of a mortgage here. Mm-hmm. Does that sound about right? And then I've got this little form. I'm going to just follow through and help me. What the whole purpose of this of my visit is to do a little bit of exploration here, and sometimes I come back and say, guys, you've got this covered. So it's not always trying to sell something. If you guys have some loops or gaps in your coverage, which you kind of gave me the impression you kind of feel that way, but maybe I can reassure you that you don't. But the whole purpose here is so something happens to you, of course, your lovely bride and the girls don't lose a home, or vice versa.
Right.
Are you also working outside the
Yes.
home?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's crucial nowadays, that both can continue on. That $143,000 mortgage, what does that relate to in a mortgage payment per month?
About $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
About $1,000 a month. Then from it looks like maybe the notes here that you guys did a 30-year note on the mortgage.
Yes, we do.
We do not do mortgages. We work with everyone on their mortgage, but I I can never not share this one little fact. On a 30-year note, the whole idea, we want to try to pay off our home so we don't have to pay that $1,000 out. Well, it'd be wonderful. Did our closing agent show you how to literally cut your mortgage payments in half, or your mortgage amount, the 30 years, literally by a third and almost in half by a simple couple little ways to pay it? Did that ever happen? Let me show you just real quick. If you take that $1,000, now you have to coordinate through the closing office your mortgage with the United Home Loans. We work with several different mortgage companies. I don't remember whether that home office does the biweekly plan or not, but they will let you know who will sponsor that for you. But if you take that $1,000 and you work out a plan with your closing agent, you pay half of that mortgage amount per month every other week, you'll take over 7 years off of your mortgage. Same payment. You make this same payment, but you break it up and you do it $500 every other week. It'll drop from a 30-year note to approximately 22.7. Just by doing that. So, like I said, I feel remiss if I don't share that with my clients.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
The whole idea is to make your money work harder for you. That's what I like. That's why I like doing what I do, to try to help you make your money work harder for you. Now, if you can, maybe like IRS time or tax time or Christmas, your birthday, if you guys could plan it. So now we've gone from 30 years down to approximately 23. Mm-hmm. You can actually cut another 4 years off of that. So you almost come into half of what you owe by simply stating, hey, Michael, once a year on April 15th or December 25th, we're going to make one extra house payment. You're going to get that below 20 years by paying one extra house payment a year and paying that $500 every other week.
Wow.
So we free up some extra money for you guys so you can start to say, now, Alicia, from paperwork, it looks like I have you down as you're 32. Mm-hmm. And Michael, it says here you're, 28?
I am.
So, goodness, how would it feel like in your, maybe not even before you hit 50 and you have a paid off mortgage?
Awesome.
Not too bad, right? So again, the whole idea is to try to make your money work harder for you. In part of exploring with your guys' right now financial situation, let's take a look at any insurances that you currently own. So anything on your life, Michael, you pass away, that benefit goes on to Alicia and the girls. What do you have maybe outside of work that you actually own?
Outside of work, I do not have any. Through
not.
work, I have 100,000 though.
Through work, okay. So nothing on outside of work, and I'll explain why why I asked that question the way I did there. And you said through work, you actually have right at 100,000.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Alicia. How about you, Alicia? Any insurances that you own outside of work?
Not outside of work, but same, 100,000.
Yeah, you have 100,000 also through work. Okay. And you guys probably already know this, but important to note. Michael, you get promoted, you change jobs, you just get fed up with it, and you quit. Any or all of those above, the day that you leave work, you no longer have that policy. So that's why I always encourage you to carry out something outside of work, because as I was sharing, anything you own outside work, the employer owns. And I've got the same thing at work. I've got their coverage because it's wonderful group life insurance, but typically you don't get to keep that unless you're one of the executives there at your office. And then Michael, do you smoke?
I do not.
How about you, Alicia?
I do not.
And your title at work, Michael?
IT specialist.
IT specialist. Approximately, what's your annual income? What was your payday last year?
About 50,000.
About 50. And what is your title, Alicia?
Executive assistant. 45.
Approximately 45. Okay. And you pass away, Michael. We were looking for any dollars from anywhere. So maybe funds outside of work, or are you currently contributing to your 401k at work? Do you have a 401k at work?
Yes, I do have at work.
And contributing to it?
It's just like, normal amount is going in.
So at least doing the free money, where
Yes.
whatever there's matching, right?
Exactly.
Okay. How about anything prior to your current employer? Other funds outside of another, possibly funds at another employer, or other stock market funds, anything like that?
I do not have it.
You do not? Okay. Alicia, contributing to a 401k at work?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. Hopefully, do they have some matching money there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I love hearing that. That's incredibly important to at least do the matching. And how about funds for you from a previous employer, or any other stocks or any other funds? Okay, all right. Well, let's look at this. On the phone last night, Michael, I told you about 15 minutes. So we're about 15 minutes into this. And I'm a man of integrity. I will not go any further than the 15 minutes unless you tell me that it's worth to go a little bit further. And I need your input here as well, Alicia. Just the mortgage itself, of course, not counting. If you go to, if you want to call them actuary tables, or you want to call them, the projections of financial security, ideally, you want to be 10 times your income for a spouse. So
Okay.
you pass away, we want to look for 10 times of what they call face value. So with you being at 50,000, some places will say 20 times your salary, but let's just stick with the 10.
Okay.
You guys are so young and already still just getting started. Let's think of 10 times your face value that we want to have, in place. So $50,000, or 50,000 times 10, 500,000, right?
Okay.
And about the same for you, right, Alicia? As far as the 45, you're every bit of 50, but at 45,000 would be equating to $450,000. Of course, let's say that you did pass away at work. At least that gets moved towards the mortgage. But now we have left Alicia and the girls without any income. So you've got, she buries you, she takes care of maybe some other medical bills, and I'm looking at you because most guys pass away first, it seems, but that's not always the case. Sadly to say, you probably have some friends who have passed away in their 20s or 30s or 40s, knowing that is a real thing for families trying to keep a home or keep a roof over someone's head. Sadly, last year, more than 30% of mortgages could have been saved, more than 30% of foreclosures could have been saved by just $500 a month. It's crazy to think. Now, to compound that, especially when you guys have as good as incomes that you have, you probably, I'll look to you, Alicia, you probably need Michael's income.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And is it safe to say that you probably need Alicia's income?
Yes.
We just have a tendency to live kind of up to that edge of the glass that something happens. And I'm kind of preaching to the choir because you filled this out, Alicia. You know this, or you wouldn't have probably had me here. But do you see maybe even a little bit more of a reason to say, okay, I know you're at your 15 minutes, but let's hear maybe what is it going to cost us to put something in place?
Yeah.
Is it worth it, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. What we do is, what I do is go out of my way to make sure I have what they call an unlimited, unrestricted license for the state of Indiana. In other words, when I leave here today, a lot of the folks that I sit with feel a good sense of relief when I share this, is that we can have something in place today. Now, we still have to send it to home office. They have to come back and say, yep, they're healthy enough. Hopefully you guys are as healthy as you look. But it's going to be based on your health and what's on their doctor's reports of saying, do they have cancer, or heart attack, or stroke? And, if they come back and give us the final okay, but I'm able to give you what they call a temporary okay this evening, that something happens to you tomorrow, Alicia's got that 100,000. But I think, are we in agreement that it needs to be more?
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Mhm.
Okay. Pretty cool. Kind of nice thing to be able to say it's in place this evening. Now, again, we can massage it. I come back after it gets approved, officially approved, and we can raise it or lower it a little bit, but pretty cool thing?
Yeah.
Good. Upfront close. Give me a big picture of your health, guys. Alicia, have you ever smoked?
No.
Have you ever had cancer?
No.
Heart attack?
Nope.
Stroke?
No.
Diabetes? Nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
You jumped there real quickly. Good. That makes my job a whole lot easier. What kind of medications are you on?
Nothing. Ibuprofen every once in a while when I have a headache, but nothing.
You did good. Did you get a medical profile or something before saying, hey, I'm going to go on a date or something? How about for you, Michael? Give me the big view first. Anything as far as the cancer ever, heart attack, stroke, nothing at all with the heart ever.
No.
Wow, very cool. How long ago did you smoke?
I have never smoked.
Okay, I've worded that kind of, but sometimes it just is a little cathartic to say, yeah, I smoked for a couple of years, 10 years ago, but literally never.
No.
All right, man. Thank you. That helps. We do. We actually have programs. So when I'm going to challenge you guys to think about you pass away, Alicia, we don't need to put any more burden on Michael than, hey, I'm going to have 5 or 10 persons, friends and family who are close to you that will call me and say, hey, would you help Michael out? Get the death certificate, get the life money, get your protection money to Michael. So I'm going to get some names and relationships from you later, but the whole idea is you pass away, we want to try to make things as comfortable for Michael. And again, dude, we just seem to go first. So real crucial. I know my wife is, oh my goodness, she is so much my anchor. If it wasn't for my relationship with Christ, I mean, she is my anchor. I need to take care of that anchor, and it seems like it looks like you've got that care and sensitivity in your heart that you say, yeah, I'm going to make sure I'm taking care of my bride. And from a 7 and 9-year-old, sounds like you guys have been married 8 or 10, 12 years. About
I don't
that.
know, how long have we, honey?
I think we're sitting at like 11 right now.
Put him on the spot. Great. Thanks, Alicia. And yeah, we want to make sure that it's, taken care of just as much as the future, as much as, you called her at one time your bride. I still do. My wife kind of looks at me sometimes. She's my bride. She is my bride. And then take me back with your mom. Alicia, is she still with you?
Mm-hmm.
Dynamite. Dad with you?
Yes.
Great. What are their ages? Approximate.
69 and 62.
And how about now going to Grandma and Grandpa? Are they still with you?
No.
On your mom or dad's side?
None.
Think of one of those couples. Take maybe on your mom's side. Did Grandpa die before Grandma or vice versa?
Mom's side, Grandpa died before Grandma, and on Dad's side, Grandma died before Grandpa.
When Grandpa died, and that was on your mom's side that you said that Grandpa died first, do you know or do you remember if they had something like this, and did Grandpa have something like this in place for Grandma so that her life was able to be a little bit smoother, or she didn't have to worry about a mortgage? Or
No, they were separated.
They were separated at the time. On your dad's side, similar question, similar?
No, she died when he was little.
Oh, really?
So I don't know. I don't even know how.
Okay. You see the importance of my question, though. It helps me just think again of if anything needed to be solidified. Wow, I see the importance of that. Kind of going the same question with you, Michael, as far as mom and dad are still with you?
Yes, they are.
Grandmas and grandpas on both sides?
They're not here.
They're not. Describe to me, again, do you know if either one of those couples had this type of protection in place?
I think they had some, but it wasn't really enough for once one was gone.
Okay. And very important for me, we really don't try to do any radio or TV. I like to keep things a little bit more personal. So if this is valuable to you, I would like to be able to think that you'll pass on my business card, or even say, hey, let's give mom and dad a ring. Hey, I want you to talk to Tim. He's been sincere and he's been able to help us put something in place for when we pass, the mortgage is paid off. I want to give you guys each two prices. I want to give you a price for what I call the typical way that most mortgages are protected is by an accidental policy. So you guys die of anything that's non-health related, whether it's in a car accident or a skiing accident, it doesn't matter. You're working up on the roof, or you're working up on the roof without being chauvinistic, and you slip and fall and break your neck, and that's an accident. So this is the least expensive way to ever get mortgage protection. So I always like to give that as an option. It's also a nice way to increase what we call face value, or what the policy is totally worth, in order to be able to help, of course, your loved ones left behind. And then what I call full value. So I'm going to give you one price, Elisha, for an accidental, and you as well, Michael, and then one price for the full value, meaning it, of course, includes the accident, but also, my goodness, I'm only 30 years old. I didn't realize that the number one killer for females, I'm thinking guys always die of a heart attack. Really? I was surprised at that. I've got from the I guess they call them the CDC, Center for Disease Control, and if you notice here, from ages 1 all the way up to 44, the number one way for persons to die by an accident. I was a little bit surprised at that. And then, right behind there is typically for females is heart. But even when you get up into 50s and 60s, even an accident is still within the top 3. So that, that is a very valuable way to increase your value without having to expend out a lot of money. We have a $143,000 mortgage, so I'm going to put in $150,000 as 100% coverage, but I'm going to price out this for 75% of the mortgage, so we can kind of move up and down, because you guys set this price. You guys say that makes sense for a budget, or you come back and say it doesn't, and let you know that we can really massage this so that you don't feel like you're taking food off the table. I'm sure the girls are excited about school and new clothes. I know my daughter's already hitting up my wife, and she's still out 3 weeks before school, and talking about school clothes. So it gets expensive. I noticed from 3 boys to 1 girl. Can imagine what it's like. Don't want to imagine. I'm good with the. So at 75% of the mortgage, math-wise, is that about 120,000? Does that sound about right? If I do that at 75%, we're just going to call it. And again, this is very flexible, but showing it at 120,000. And with you, Elisha, going to look up a price for an accidental. And for 150,000 for you at 32, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that price for 120,000, we're going to show that right at, that will be $14.11. Change that to you, Michael. For the same 120,000, that's going to be $18.12 for you. And then that covers for the accidental, for full value, meaning heart attack, cancer, stroke. For you, Elisha, for 120,000, that would put you right at $33.45. Change it back for you, Michael. That puts you right at $36.40. So together, We're going to say that's about $48 for you, Elisha, and for you, Michael, that's $54. So in total, we've got $120,000 full value on both of you. We have $120,000 full value on both of you for accidental. So 120 times 2, 240, 120 times 2, 240. So we're talking about $480,000 of coverage. At 48 and 54, we're looking at right around $102 a month. So you're looking at about $25 a week to have $480,000 worth of coverage. I want you just to think about that here for a second. Neither one of you guys went, wow, oh my gosh, that looks crazy. But that's okay if it does. If you hide your feelings well, Michael, I'm okay with it too.
No, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Actually,
honestly.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
So that's doable. That's not taking any food off the table or okay. All right. Any vacations here planned before the start of school?
No. Too much.
Not this year.
Okay. I want to make sure that I don't. The worst thing that I like sleeping at night. I want to make sure that I do you guys right, and you're going to be left with several cards. So I want this to be a very pleasant experience, and that's something I had to talk you into. That oh boy, he was a great salesman. That's usually the worst thing I can hear. I always like to share, or I always like to hear when somebody shares with me that made sense. It was a pleasant experience, and now we feel good. So the $480,000, $102 a month feels doable.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Very good. All right, guys. Then all I need is your driver's license. That's it, guys. And I really am not exaggerating when I say that it's very typical. When you sit down with a client, when you get over the phone reluctance, the call reluctance, when you actually sit down with real people, and as long as you're real, hopefully you heard some empathy in my voice. You don't need to overboard. Oh, I saw your whole wall of fame. Wow, you're into motorcycles. Wow, I love your house. That starts to ring very hollow. They know you're there for business. Have one or two life stories. I typically, I'm 700 years old and I've got a 9-year-old. So that typically kind of resonates with people, and it's kind of a cute story, or really, but that's about it. I don't need to keep on going into, here's a picture of my family. Here's a picture of me at the beach. Oh, I used to have 500 more pounds on me. Guys, keep it direct. But again, I don't know any better way. Give some feedback. And this is impromptu. Didn't ask Elisha or Michael. In all sincerity, Michael, this is the first time that you've sat during one of these. How did it feel? Did it feel natural? Did it make sense?
Yeah.
The first time, you've never seen this before, right?
No, I've not.
Okay. Was there any, what made sense about it?
I think you explained everything very well. You made it very easy to understand, and I couldn't say you could do anything else better, honestly. It was great.
Elisha, you've been a part of a couple of these now. Tell me, give everybody your feedback.
You just
We're easily in over 40 states right now, so you've got a lot of folks saying, okay, does this make sense? Is this something that I can do? Do you see,
You just made me feel very comfortable with, this is personal information that we're sharing, and I didn't feel like you were trying to sell me something. It felt like you were trying to help me with the future and try to plan for, if something should happen to either one of us, what the best possible route would be to take care of us.
Definitely felt like you were there for us, not just to sell and leave.
That's the key. Thank you, Michael. That's the absolute key, guys. If you can take that salesman hat off, and in all sincerity, if we're talking about platforms here, my platform is I'm okay leaving Elisha and Michael saying that, guys, and I have done this before. And when some folks have sent in this responder form, especially when you get into the 60s and 70-year-olds, hey, we just wanted to have you kind of help us reevaluate where we're at. I've walked out of the home saying, guys, you've got a good plan in place. We could do this and leave maybe a heritage for grandchildren or for your great-grandchildren. You've done well here for your bride of 62 years. Or I'm also good with coming back and saying, I understand why I'm here. So some of those, go back, and we're going to have this on our website. It's also going to be on YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in mortgage protection and my name, Tim Lankford, Lankford, and you'll be able to access this video, I'll say here within the next week. Go back, look for some key transitions. Look for those eye contact's crucial here. The only thing that I'll usually do with a female is a fist bump. I don't try to, if I'm going, I know it sounds goofy, but if I'm going to do any touching, it's going to be between the wrist and the elbow. It may sound as goofy as you want it to sound like, but it's a non-personal touch, and it's making sure you're connecting with them. With a dude, yeah, I can hit him on the shoulder, I can hit him down here, right by his elbow. Again, I'm not going to get, as goofy as it sounds, closer to his hand. I'm going to let him know, hey, it's us, and we've got to, and if it's just sitting with just a guy looking to protect his family or his brother or his family, extended family, or just a single female. In your mindset, you're there to help. That's all. If you will take that attitude and you follow my 3 directives, I've got 3 directives, and you will be phenomenally successful in this business. If you will blow up your income by making it happen. Every Friday, 11 a.m., we have a conference call. The same platform we use, the GoToWebinar platform, but as a conference call. At 11 a.m., I've got Brandon Lewis that will be on the phone with us this week, and he'll be talking about how that in 3 to 4 days a week, he went from a $40,000 income to 2 years ago, the first time over 6 figures, to last year over $200,000. And he does this business. He does what we're doing right here using these leads 3 to 4 days a week. That's on our call on Friday. Mess up your income is my number 1 directive. Just mess up your income in a good way. Number 2, you take care of your lovely bride, your wonderful husband, by putting yourselves in a house that is phenomenally safe, in a safe neighborhood. Make sure that because of you took care of number 1 by blowing up your income, you have the house that you want. You have your children in the school you want them to be in. You are the biggest tither. I want to be the biggest tither in my church. Not to wave my flag and say, look at me, but to say, Father, I want to give that much back. Make sure that you're the number 1 giver in you're the charity that you want to contribute to. That's number 2 directive. Number 2 is taken care of if you take care of number 1. But number 3 always takes care of the first 2. If you go out and you help the Michaels and the Alicias in the field, number 1 and number 2 have to follow, because you become an agent who is making it happen. Guys, God bless you. I look forward to seeing your name on the call on Friday.